Hello, everyone. It is July 3rd, 2025. It's 5:31 in the morning here in Albuquerque. That means it's 7:30 a.m. on the East Coast. Hope everyone's doing well. And let's take a look here. 66 degrees. It's raining in Albuquerque. That's rare. So people in Albuquerque get cheered up when it rains. Thank goodness. It's raining. Sunrise today, 5:57 a.m. That's 25 minutes from now. Sunset, 8:24. We still got it made. Long days. I love the long days. I love them. I love June, July, summer. Let's see who's here. Pushing Buttons is here. Josh is here. Damien is here. All right. All right. Well, there's a bunch of things we could talk about, people. A bunch of things I have on my mind. Um, I guess you know what I was planning on making this show starting with. I was going to talk about Mandela effect even before tonight's stream that Sandy did. I was going to say what I'm going to say now. Uh, to me, the $1 million question about the Mandela effect, it's not uh, whether or not it's happening. We know it's happening. The real question is, well, what is going on? Is it our memories that have been tampered with somehow? Is it that we are shifting into parallel Earths, if you will, a parallel reality? This idea of the multiverse goes into play there. Or is it this one world that has always been, we're still on the same world we grew up in, but it's changing, it's fluid. Okay. Or is it something that we can't even fathom as humans? Humans can't even fathom it. Vividness. Ha ha. Have a great day, Vividness. Great to see you. All right. All right. Um, now, all of these options are impossible according to what we were taught is possible versus impossible, right? Like shifting dimensions, fluid earth. These things sound wild and impossible. So, my thing is, since none of us can prove it, we have to be intelligent and humble enough to not claim that we know what's going on, right? Nobody knows. Nobody can prove anything. We have to be open-minded. We have to be cool. We have to be smart with our research, all that stuff. Yeah. And put some stuff up on the background. Bear with me, people. I'm going to share screens. This is Pushing Buttons playing a game called Spider Heck. It's a new game, but I like the graphics because they're pretty simple. What else is going on, people? What's on your mind? Four Jacks is here. Welcome. Good morning. All right. How are you feeling, Push? How's your neck? This is an informal show, people. I might delete it as soon as it's done. I'm feeling sociable, and I wanted to come on, say hey. I've been meaning to come on. You know, I hate to come on when Sandy's on, just like I used to hate to come on when Brian comes on. But she just signed off, and here I am. Shout out to Sandy. Hope you get some comfort. Sandy, you're Push says he's already 40% better. Hey, Push, I was gonna suggest at Sandy's show that I bet Push would feel 100% better if someone were to leave. Push, I was there and I took a 2-hour break and came back, and you were still chasing answers. Sandy putting in a lot of hours lately. So my rule has been for the past year or so, just to stay away when I hear somebody talking crazy and going on, especially the ones that go on and on and on. If I'm watching a YouTube show and someone's just going on and on and on and not really answering questions clearly, that's not somebody that I'm going to listen to. So I took a break tonight from watching the entire stream. Let's see. Where do I begin? There's a bunch of things that we could talk about. Well, I guess the trifecta, what I call the trifecta for this summer is, oh, by the way, thank you, Push, for letting me show this. And if Call for Zero is here, Call, I'm going to show some of your videos in a minute. And I know that's cool with you because you have a thing on your channel that says anybody can share these. So that's pretty cool. The trifecta for this summer, three big things, each one as big as the Mandela effect, each one as big as Level Earth. Number one, the telepathy tapes. Highly recommended videos, the telepathy tapes. All you have to do is check out the first 10 minutes of the first one, of the first volume, and you'll see what it's about. It's about a phenomenon that seems to be really happening where where children can read their parents or one of their parents' minds down to the detail, These videos could be hoaxes, but they sure don't look it. They seem totally real. And when they're interviewing these ladies, they don't sound like they're lying. They are desperate for answers, these mothers. It's an incredible thing. So highly recommended, the telepathy tapes. Let me see what's happening in chat real quick before I tell you about the other two big things. Yeah, they really do seem legit. And cool. I asked Push recently if he had any footage of him playing old school games, like the ones I used to play when I was a kid. And he said, yeah, Galaga. So I'm looking forward to that, Push, but no hurry. And Josh says, my kid reads my mind all the time. I'll have to check out those tapes. Please do. Please do. Uh, and a funny side note, Push, I sent you a quick email telling you that the telepathy tapes are mind blowing, a total game changer, changes the. I'm going to recommend it to anyone I can. And I accidentally sent that email to a comic book store somewhere in the South. And a few days later, this nice young lady who worked at the comic store emails me back, and she says, I'm really glad the telepathy tapes really had a positive effect on you. That's really great. Well, if you need any help, let us know. The Three Minds is here. Welcome. So yeah, this phenomenon of mothers, or maybe both parents or one of the parents, having a child that can read their mind is extraordinary, and like I said, these mothers are desperate for answers. They're wondering, you know what what their role is in this, because it's such a special thing. Okay, the second thing that I wanted to talk about, um, as we look at a fire there, I don't want to spend a lot of time talking about this, but uh, I've been telling this story. I'm going to make a video, just a short one, where I tell this story. But these are the apartments I lived in back between 1989 and 1993. It's the first place I moved to after high school graduation. It's the first place I lived after moving out of the house. And one day I was chilling at the apartment alone, and I came outside and I saw this, a wire in the sky, so high in the sky that no structure in Albuquerque is that tall. It seems to be going in a east and west direction. And well, actually, it seems to be exactly east and west. There it is, people. You can see that little connector, what looks like a connector. I'm calling this a wire because I don't know what else to call it. I don't know what it is. Okay. This part's heading west to the Petroglyphs National Monument, which borders the west end of Albuquerque. And the other end is going east towards the Kirtland Air Force Base, which is 2 miles from where this picture was taken. The petroglyphs are like 8 miles from here. What could possibly be holding up that wire? And if it's a wire, it would sag, right? But it's straight. And the real mind blower is that other people have reported this. That's the real mind blower. Let me enlarge the screen. Sorry about that. You can see it a little closer this way. Yeah. Fortunately, at the time, I had my trusty 1970s Pentax camera, and it had film in it. So I went inside, grabbed the camera, took this picture, And here it is all these years later. This happened in 1991 or 92. And the other reported sightings of this sort of thing, one of them is Caldwell, New Jersey, 1970. The other, Alberton, Georgia, 1972. And Greensburg, Ohio, 1978. Now that uh, Caldwell one, the 1970 one, that one I think is a hoax because there's no photographs of it. And apparently, according to the story, everyone in town knew about this hanging wire. It was hanging vertically. As you can see, mine is going horizontally. This thing that I saw was 300 feet in the air, 150 at the lowest, 150 feet at the lowest. Caldwell, New Jersey, 1970. I think it's a hoax because there's no photographs. And according to the story, this vertical hanging string was hanging for weeks. And everyone in town was talking about it. Okay. One photo? Not even one that I could find. But the other two, there was Alberton, Georgia, 1972. Greensburg, Ohio, 1978. I can't remember, damn it, which one, but one of those stories talked about how the police got in the car and followed this horizontal wire like the one in my photograph here. And the cops followed this wire for what seemed like 20 miles, and it just kept on going. And of course, that would make a great 30-minute cop show, right? You can imagine the cops in that car. Yeah, let's go check it out. Well, let's stop at the store first for some for a code 7. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Yeah, it is a trip, David. It is a trip. And it really happened. And it took me all these years of making these truth videos to finally kind of snap and find this photo because it was in storage. And now, it's the story of the summer. Because I predict we're going to hear more sightings like this. We're going to hear of more reported sightings of stuff like this. David, this picture was taken in 1991 or 92 and possibly early 93, but I don't think so. I wasn't doing a lot of photography in 93. Right now, the temperature is 66 degrees Fahrenheit. Make that 65. But it's been getting into the 90s, low 90s as a high. What do you mean newspaper write-up? Are you talking about Caldwell, New Jersey? Hi, sis. Nice to see you. Well, nice to see your dog. All right. And the third. So to me, this is a big deal, you guys. There's wires in the skies that that are right in front of you. There's the photograph, and This really happened, people. This really happened. I regret not getting in my car and following this thing. Um, Let me get this off the screen because I think we've all seen this a bit much lately. If you want more details, just go watch the last few shows I made regarding this story. But it is a trip out, you guys. And what can I conclude from this? All I can conclude is that there's something up there. Some people propose that it's a dome, some kind of container for this reality, for creation. Maybe so, maybe no. I've always been quick to point out that there's no evidence for a dome, but this thing is unexplainable, and I saw it with my own eyes, people. And I'm glad I had film in the camera. Um, Other people would suggest that that things that happen in the sky are things that are actually happening on a parallel reality in another dimension, so to speak. Um, Maybe so, maybe no. My mind is open. Uh, Interdimensional or not, people, there's something up there. There's something up there. And it's a mind blower. It's a blockbuster. It's a blockbuster to know that I'm not the only one who's seen these things. Strange wires, unexplainable. Nothing in that photograph made sense because there's nothing in Albuquerque, again, that tall, no structures that could have held up that wire. And was it a wire being so erect? How could it be? Um, it also looked translucent, like a fishing line. So who knows? Nate's here. Welcome. The words fiber optic came to my mind also. Yes, David, that's what I think. I think it was, well, David says, so it was an infinite wire in the sky that never ended. That's what I think. I think had I gotten in the car with the camera, I think I would have just gone on a fool's errand. I believe I would have kept on driving, and that wire would never end. And finally, I would give up. TRC is, what is it, like 4 or 5 hours drive from here? I haven't been there since I was a child. Forgive me, Push. Um, I lost my train of thought with you. What you were saying? Yeah, Joe, because I asked you a question. I apologize, people. I lost my train of thought right there. Yeah, man. Totally. Falling stage lights. You guys, we're being watched by people. I really believe that. Like, maybe not people, but we're being watched the way we watch movies. newspaper write-up. Yeah, there was a newspaper write-up about Caldwell, New Jersey, the first wire in the sky ever uh, cited. But I don't believe there was a photograph with that article. I tried my hardest to find a photograph of any of these sightings of wires in the sky. And as far as I know, I'm the only dude in history who's taken a picture of this sort of thing. And yeah, it's really something. Oh, what we're looking at here now, this is an interesting video that I got from Call for Zero's channel. And there was a phrase in this video that stuck with me. Impossible to build houses. We were lied to. We were lied to about everything. Nate says, for sure, Joe, I think they're like tuning into me because I entertain whomever. And it would be entertaining to 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 set a decent person who can think for themselves in a world like this, just to see what happens. When I was 6 years old and my brother was 8, we captured this big fat spider. And we said, man, wouldn't it be cool to watch this spider rampage through an ant pile? And it'll be ants versus the spider, just like a Godzilla movie. Yeah. Same thing. By the way, the ants tore that poor spider to pieces, ate him alive. Good morning, Rebecca. Greetings to a new day. Oh, Rebecca, the things that happened while you slept. My advice is to, this one time, don't watch Sandy's chat from last night. This is an informal show, Rebecca. I'm probably going to delete it as soon as it's over, or maybe I'll give it a couple days. Well, I'm glad you're here, Rebecca, because there's some things that you've said lately that, oh, Sandy is okay. Sandy's fine. Sandy's fine. There was just a lot of conversation that was circular. But of course, I'm sure curiosity will get the best of Rebecca. The third big story for this summer, you guys, again, number one, the telepathy tapes. This phenomenon of children being able to read their parents' minds or one of their parents' minds. Look into it, you guys. All you have to do is watch the first 10 minutes of the episode 1, volume 1. The channel is called The Telepathy Tapes. And push, I seem to remember that if you go to that channel, you'll see like the Telepathy Tapes Volume 1, the Telepathy Tapes Volume 2, the Telepathy Tapes Volume 3. Just go to the first one and watch the first 10 minutes and you'll get exactly what you need to get. The number 2 big story, the wires in the sky that I've been talking about. And then the third big story for me, the GATE program, Gifted and Talented Education. Is that right? The GATE program is when you're a little kid in elementary school and most of the kids go through um, regular classes. But some kids, let's say there's 300 kids in this elementary school, 300 students, K through fifth or sixth grade. Let's say there's 300 students. Of those 300, 8 or so get chosen to be in the gifted program. And and this conversation about the GATE program. Oh, here, speaking of, this is not a bad video to watch, people. You could see the title right here. This video is called Season 4, Episode 86, Gifted and Talented Education, GATE in parentheses, and Talented and Gifted, tag. And basically, people, if you didn't know about this, a lot of these people that were children in the 70s and 80s and 90s when they went through this gifted program, they're adults now with questions like, what exactly was that? Because they had them doing a lot of weird things. And that starts a conversation about even people like me who were not in the gifted program, but I still remember a ton of vaccinations, dentist trips to the school, and a bunch of tests, hearing tests, vision tests. And yeah, people are asking questions about, like, what was that all about? What were they looking for? Seems like they were looking for a certain type of person. And Josh says, that video is awesome. That lady has awesome info about GATE. Yeah, check that video out, people. Let's see. Oh yeah, we'll check out another video in a minute. And her name is Emma Catherine. She's the one who did that video about GATE. Yeah, all that is red flags. And right now I'm talking to Push about the behavior of a certain somebody in Sandy's chat earlier this evening. I just see a bunch of red flags there, Push. You know, he was asked a lot of direct, plainly worded questions, and 3 hours later, no real answers, and a lot of contradictions, and 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 a lot of conversation coming from one person that wasn't very sound, didn't sound sound. So that was just a big old pile of red flags. So that's the trifecta, people. Those are the three big things that I've been thinking about this summer: the telepathy tapes, the wires in the sky, and this GATE program. Rebecca or Josh, do you guys want to say anything more about the GATE program? I feel like I didn't really. Basically, it's weird. The program was weird. One thing all the participants have in common is they don't remember anything from it. Some people, like Rebecca, were tapped to not only be in the program. See, when I said 8 kids out of 300, what that meant was those 8 kids would meet in some dark portable, usually a portable. You remember those portables? They called them barracks here in Albuquerque, but windowless small rooms that were there on campus, rooms that were never used really, and people in there, adults in there that don't work at the school. They came in from the outside. So it's just kind of creepy, and a lot of people have grown up and are asking now, what was that all about? And even I was asking about like stuff like the plaque tests. Remember when the dentist would come to your school and give all the kids in class a pink tablet or a red tablet? I remember it being red, and it would make your teeth red, and that would make it easier for the dentist to spot plaque. But I've never met an adult who was given that when they go into the dentist. So, Rebecca says, Joe, I think they were trying to groom and program us, but first they had to see why we were different. Dean is here. Welcome, man. Oh, yeah. And Becca says, my mom doesn't remember authorizing or hearing, excuse me, my mom doesn't remember authorizing the hearing or dental stuff. Yeah, none of our moms or dads were notified about that. They just showed up one day. I remember dentists coming in from the outside, hearing test people, vision tests people, vaccination people. Geez, that was all in one school year, 1978-79 school year. I was in second grade. Josh says, I think they were picking and choosing before they recruited us. Mental Pancakes is here. Welcome. Intuition. All right. It's time for jokes and bullshit. We'll get back to the show in a few minutes. What's the hardest thing about learning to ride a bicycle? The pavement. And I just realized the blinds are closed. Let me open those. Oh. I think the rain subsided. We'll get back to the GATE program. Here's another joke. A parent tells the daughter, I never told lies when I was your age. And the daughter says, oh, how old were you when you started? Pretty good. I got that from an old comic book from the 60s. If anyone has a good knock-knock joke or a one-liner, let me know. In the meantime, I'll show you guys a funny video. Bear with me. I'm going to share the screen. Let's see. This video is called Hungry Boy in China, Undeterred by Quake. It's a minute long. Spotless Chinese household. Watch the way he spins this table thing. Yeah. All right. All right. Oh, man.
Big retailers don't want you to have this zoom lens, but there's nothing they can.
Let me see what's happening in the chat before we get back to the show. Oh yeah, the scoliosis test as well. That one too. You know, who knows what they're looking for, people? So Rebecca and Josh both report that their elementary schools were like prison. Mine was where the portables were. I'm talking about my elementary school, but the high school that I graduated from was like a prison. And at the time, it was a brand newly built school, hailed as an architectural marvel and the future of what schools would look like. This was built in 1986. I graduated in 89. The people in Sandy's chat have no idea when we start talking about brick walls, football, and hair. Oh, well, that's the fun of an inside joke. Good, Bush. I'm glad you're feeling better, dude. Is that your one-liner, Rebecca? Oh, you're talking about that video. Yeah, those portables are ridiculous. There's no window except for the one by the door, and it's frosted like fuck. And there's also like a grid chicken wire over it or in it. Chicken wire frosted windows. 18 inches by 5 inches. And besides that, no windows for children. For children. However, the original part of that school, which was built probably in the early 60s, my elementary school, that was another school that while I was attending, they expanded it. They modernized it. And the modern parts were like shitty compared to the old original school building from the 60s. And that building had windows all over the place. So kids can look outside and see a beautiful day. I just hate what they did to the children. I just hate it. What they did to us and what they continue to do to other children. And take us away from playing, from being happy and free. And I just loved it. You know, every time I had a cold or something and I had to stay home from school, I just loved it. I didn't care if I was sick. Anything beat having to go to school. Rebecca, if you watch that stream and have questions, drop me an email, please. Okay, one last joke before we get back to the show. Knock, knock. Who's there? Sarah. Sarah who? Sarah Doctor in the house? Sorry. I got that one from a 60s comic also. From a Tarzan comic, no less. I want to show you guys a video of a unidentifiable flying object.
I'm Boston 25 News reporter Alyssa Azara in Pembroke, where a woman says she was enjoying the pool Wednesday night when she saw a strangely shaped and unfamiliar object falling from the sky just over there. The whole thing now caught on video.
Then I look up here to the sky, I see something falling down, so I pulled out my phone and like I zoomed in and it was like right about like there.
Colleen McCormick was out by her hot tub around 9 Wednesday night when she says she saw something strange and unfamiliar up above.
I see something like falling down from the sky. It had like blinking lights and like looked like it was like on fire or something. And it was just coming down really fast. I had no idea what it could have been.
McCormick captured this 8-second video from her backyard showing an unidentified object headed straight down.
There's like 3 things. So it looks like it's fire or a big light.
Expecting to hear a loud boom of some sort, she ran to the front of her home to hopefully capture the landing.
And my heart was pounding because I just looked up. I'm like, oh God, like what is about to happen right now?
But McCormick says the blinking object quickly vanished from her view.
It seemed like it was coming down like so fast. It was just like, it knows what it's doing. It just goes like that. I don't know. It's weird.
With having never seen something like it before, McCormick's mind went racing.
Like I thought it was like some explosive. I don't know. Like hopefully I'm not the only one that saw this. I'm not going crazy. Like I didn't see things, but I got it on video. So I'm like, I did definitely see something.
Now, the FAA was not able to comment on the video McCormick took, but they said they did not get any reports of debris in the area. Both Pembroke Fire and police said the same thing. On scene in Pembroke, Alyssa Azara for your local, headed straight down.
Okay. What I'm noticing about this object that she filmed is that it's morphing. And you could see it right there. On the top of this object, there seems to be like silver colored like they almost look like round cushions.
From her backyard, showing an unidentified object headed straight down.
There's like 3 things. So it looks like it's fire or a big light.
Expecting to hear a loud boom of some sort, she ran to the front of her home to hopefully capture the landing.
And my heart was pounding because I just looked up. I'm like, oh God, like what is about to happen right now?
But McCormick landing.
And my heart was pounding because I just looked up. I'm like, oh God, like what is about to happen right now?
The landing.
And my heart was pounding because I just looked up. I'm like, oh God,
I could
like what
be
is
wrong.
about to
I
happen
could be
right now?
wrong. Maybe those are just maybe what I'm seeing is just these things being illuminated, like they're being lit up. But if you look closely, let me put it on slow. Oh shit, what did I do? Okay, look. Yeah, the bottom seemed to morph. Did you see that? That could have been camera movement, though. See, those things on top. Well, anyway, I'm showing you that because I've seen I've seen things in the sky over Albuquerque that morph. You know, I told you guys about that flying object that resembled the submarine from Voyage to the Bottom of the Sea, 60s TV show. And this thing was like long but it was scrunching in on itself and moving in like violent movements real fast, and it wouldn't stay the same shape for more than a third of a second. And that's what this thing reminds me of. There's morphing things in the sky, people. Laffy Taffy wrappers. Thanks. Thanks for the tip. That's interesting, Becca, because most kids loved and adored the movie E.T. That's interesting. Yeah, Push. I remember Sherry telling that story. Okay, Becca says, I do believe we are being kept off the radar. It feels awful, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. That's really true, people. And if you need a bit of I don't know if evidence is the right word, but if I could say something that supports that idea that everything's going to be all right, it's that the beast system is super afraid of people like us. And that's why they throw things at us like gang stalking. And of course, the GATE program, for example, is just something in life that is gang stalking at the end of the day. That sort of pressure that's coming at us just for telling the truth, just for reminding people that God loves you, just for reminding people that we have imaginations and great power. They're so scared of our message getting out. They're so scared of us as people. That has to tell you something. You know, that has to tell you something. Yeah. Yeah. You know, Push, I like what happened in Sandy's chat tonight. It's good to uncover truths, sometimes unpleasant truths, but it's still good to uncover truths about people. And you guys, I wanted to talk about race real quick. I've been seeing a lot of videos and hearing this phrase, black fatigue. When I see black people on YouTube talking about black fatigue, they're talking about how they're sick and tired of being mistreated. When I hear white people on YouTube talking about black fatigue, they're saying that they're sick and tired of walking on eggshells, this and that. You guys, friendly reminder, equality is real. We're all equal. It doesn't matter the color of our skin. And you can't tell me shit because I've known so many people in my life, people. I have. And I've met people of all races. And I know that there's cool people and shitty people in every race, in every walk of life. Okay. Oops, this thing's still on slow.
Reaction.
And what I'm getting at is black fatigue is a psyop. It's just another trick that in their myriad of tricks, in their bag of tricks, to separate people, to divide the people. You know, they divide us spiritually by separating us by religion. They divide us by geography, you know, with these bullshit borders that make up countries. They divide us by race, and even a bunch of little things, politics. I don't know if you guys saw this
from the owner, Roy.
I'm going to be done talking about this in a minute, but have you guys seen this footage? There. You know, it looks so awful on camera that he did that. But at the end of the day, this is just one waiter in one restaurant in this whole United States, in this whole world, and that's one aggressive bully. If this is real, I think this is a fake news story, people. I don't know if you saw this, but a lot of people were talking about this a few weeks back when it happened. You know, like, how could he be so aggressive that he just knocked down that guy's food tray? Look, 3 weeks later, they still haven't caught this guy. I haven't heard any updates. At the end of this video, they say he's still at large. But look at him. If this is real, he's a bully and he's pretty big and he wears colorful clothes. But somehow he got away. He slipped between the cracks. No one knows who he is. Police are baffled. 3 weeks later, we can't find the guy. But if you're that big and you dress with color, in bright, colorful clothes, and you're a bully, a lot of people know you, and a lot of people don't like you. So somebody would have made a phone call. Somebody would have snitched on him or blown the whistle. And, you know, if you look at this, this setup looks strange. You see, look, watch my cursor. You see that seashell? And I'll get to the chat in a minute. That seashell wouldn't be placed there because somebody would steal it. Easy. That seashell looks like it was placed there the way like you'd put together a movie set. And furthermore, why is the waiter walking into those thick doors, those big doors? Those aren't kitchen doors. We all know what kitchen doors look like. They're practically flappy. They're flimsy, you know, and you can kick them open real easy. This guy has an epic 2-tray thing, this waiter. Usually when you have 2 trays like that, you'll have a busboy escort you and help you when you get to the table to help you open doors. But again, I don't know why he's walking through those doors. Those aren't kitchen doors. And let's say that he already exited the kitchen through the kitchen doors and he has to walk this way. He has to take this route for whatever reason. Seems weird, but because this kind of seems like a waiting room. Why would he have to walk through here from the kitchen to get to the dining room? It looks weird. Also, you know what? I don't want to go on and on about this. I don't want to go on. I just want to remind everybody, there's cool people and uncool people from every race. And this whole black fatigue thing is just another psyop to separate us. Let's see what's happening in the chat. Yeah, that's so true, Bush. That is so true. Large and at large. Yeah. Yeah, Nate. Becca says, I am starting to think that people don't realize that they are all a part of the problem. Um, I hope that made sense. Yes, it does. And that's absolutely what it is, people. And I think about this all the time, how I've got to get my anger in check because it'll affect everything around me. And not just anger, but other sort of low vibration type feelings. Yeah, yeah, exactly. A news story of a dude being an ass. That's exactly right. You know, it looks traumatic when you see the food go flying, but at the end of the day, it was just one waiter in one joint. Stuff like that happens every day. This one happened to go viral. So, just another one of their tricks. All my friends know the low rider. The low rider is a little higher. Dun 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 dun. Oh, that's totally cool, Dean. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip with me. Take a little trip, take a little trip, take a little trip to see. Low rider is a little higher. The low rider is the one to meet, yeah. You know they're going to make a new Cheech and Chong movie and a Spaceballs sequel. And I don't know if this is good news or bad news, but oh yeah, I've met people of all races, shitheads and cool people from every race, including Eskimos. I've known cool Eskimo, and I knew a shithead Eskimo. And that's Snow Lie. Okay, okay. Um, yeah, close enough indeed. What movie was Lowrider in besides Dazed and Confused? Hmm. Don't drive real fast now. Getting back to that kind of hippie new age thing, about fixing up instead of us pointing the finger at other people in society. We kind of have to point the finger at ourselves almost only. Like, I swear, you guys, I think that if a person tries their best to be good just within their own thoughts, it will affect the world around them. It will make the world a better place. And sometimes I even think well, let me put that comment up in a second. Sometimes I even think that each of us is the God of their reality. Hear me out. I believe that physical reality is different for everybody. That explains why Mandela effects happen to some people and not to others. It explains why Mandela effects hit people at a different time than it hits others. I believe that each person has their individual physical reality that's unique to them, around them. And maybe that one person, the individual, is the only real human, the only real God's child on earth. Hear me out, you guys. As much as we have bonded here in this group, it could be the situation that I just said, which means that for you, your individual reality is unique to you. You are the God of that reality. And everyone else, including me, is just kind of, I guess, what they call an NPC. Now, and I know it seems like, no, there couldn't be any NPCs here. But what if we are NPCs, but just not to the extent of the NPCs that are out there that seemed a bit different than us, in that they are closed. They seem to be closed-minded, and they seem to be angry when you introduce something to them in conversation that's outside the box, that makes them think that maybe reality isn't what we're told. They react, and they react in a bad way, and we call them NPCs because it seems like they're not even human. But what if we also are NPCs to someone else? But to ourselves, we are not an NPC. We are more than that, not only human, but God, or a part of God, the closest thing to God in this reality. Who knows? Who knows? But I absolutely believe that if one does their best to get their thoughts in order, that will help the world around them. All right, let's see. I got some, and Vividness is back on a smoke break. I'll try to read fast, Vividness, so I can catch up to you. Yep. That's cool that you're listening, Vividness, while you're working. That means a lot to me. It wasn't an easy rider. That movie came out before the song anyway. One more quarter, welcome. If I just had one more quarter and it was 1982 and I was at the arcade, Pac-Man or Tron, maybe Pole Position if I was in the mood, Defender, Asteroids, maybe Galaxian if I was feeling sentimental for 1979. Did you make that word up, Damien? I'll have to look that up later. This community, Josh, that comes here to this channel is very small, but it's quality, not quantity. Geniuses come around here. Oh yeah, Centipede. They had Centipede and Pac-Man at the Safeway near my house when I was a kid. Absolutely, Rebecca. That is how all this insanity was brought to life, because we focused on it. Yep. Just as the powers that be planned. And if that's the case, we can shut it down too. Yeah. That's nice. Thanks, Vividness. And of course, the other good thing about my voice is if you have trouble sleeping, just put on just put on this guy. All right. All right. Push says, what was the saying? Turn on, tune in, and zone out. No. Tune in, turn on, drop out. Tune in, turn on, drop out. Timothy Leary. John Lennon's response? No. Tune in, turn on, and drop in, or they're going to drop all over you, baby. Damien, thank you. Solipsism, the view or theory that the self is all that can be known to exist. Wow. And as soon as I saw the word, I thought of sopapillas. That's awesome. Solipsism. I love that, Nate. I love that. And I've done that once myself. It was exactly 90 degrees. And it absolutely proves it, people, that each reality is different for each person. It's a trip out. It's a trip out. Oh no, now another thing that I don't know what it is, ASMR. I think you've told me what it is before, Rebecca, and I forgot. Shame on me. Yeah, that's so true, Rebecca. Because even though that's a powerful idea, I don't want anybody calling me a solipsist. Solipsist. or a sopapilla. Oh, vividness. So forward. Okay. Now, those European girls. They're way ahead out there. Bush says the education system is such an attack. The brain frequency at each early childhood stage is just right for their control. Disgusting. That's so damn true, man. We're golden when we're kids and we're trusting. When they came to our school with vaccinations and needles, I was so nice to those people, and I told them I don't want that to be poked by a needle. And they said, it won't hurt. And I said, it won't. And I sat down and I watched them poke it into me. And indeed, it did not hurt at all. And I was so happy. And I thought these people were so nice to me and so giving with my energy to these people. Have fun, Vividness. It was great to see you. Hope to see you soon. Okay. David insists I'm a real human. Okay, I'll take it. Thank you. Yeah, Bush, I was going to use the word sponge. What was that comedy with Richard Ramis or whatever and Steve Martin? Like around 1989. What's his name? He was in Ghostbusters. He was like the goofy guy with glasses who. What is his name? Richard Ramis or something like that. Well, anyway, he was talking about how his child is at that perfect age where they can soak up, 20 times more information than an adult is able to soak up and remember. And they're like sponges. Let's see. Rebecca says, I cried at the dentist a month ago and told her I wanted her to stop cutting me. Found out she quit. Oh, well. Rebecca, I think those dentists are no damn good. And I may have to get surgery or dentures or something. And I don't even want to go to that surgery, because what it really is, if you step back and look through it with plain eyes, not brainwashed eyes, if you look at dentistry through plain eyes, all that is assault and battery. They sit you in a chair and torture you. 3 different people taking turns knocking the shit out of you. And then they show you a mirror and you could see how jacked your teeth look in the middle of the surgery, halfway through. And then afterwards, when you get your fresh teeth, they usually look crappy. And people think that it's great that you went through this and like, oh, that's great. You got new teeth and blah, blah, blah. But what they don't understand is you had to go through this horrible beating, this assault and battery from total strangers, and that's what it is. And I know that somebody might say, no, it's not like that. It's good that you got this surgery and you look better. But what they don't understand is that beating happened. So what I would tell people is picture Rocky at the end of the original Rocky movie. He and Apollo beat the shit out of each other all night long. And then Rocky says, I love you, Adrian, and everything's cool. But, his broken nose healed, his eyelid cut healed, everything healed. But that doesn't mean he didn't go through that beating. Just because he healed up and looked better later, that doesn't mean he didn't go through that beating. I know it's fiction, people. I am aware of that. And that's what it is sitting in that damn dentist chair. Oh, it's summertime. It's hot. Ah, shucks, sis. Thank you. It wouldn't surprise me if Leary was a plant. Yeah. That's why it's so cool that Lennon corrected him. If you guys are new to this channel, I've been telling my listeners for years now, the Beatles are innocent. John Lennon is innocent. Those four dudes are innocent entertainers. That's a whole nother conversation. We're not getting into it tonight. In fact, I'm going to wrap things up in a bit, but we can talk about that another time. I haven't talked about my entertainment theory in a while, so I could talk about that next time even. We'll talk about how the Beatles are innocent and how other members of the so-called counterculture of the 60s and 70s were plants, I think, but I don't think the Beatles were. And most of the anti-Beatle talk in this community comes from one channel, the Sage of Quay. And everybody loves that guy because he speaks so nicely, but that's not enough for me to like that dude, because I'm the only person in the entire community who checks that dude's work. So when he says some bullshit like the Beatles never played I Want to Hold Your Hand live, and I'm like, what the fuck did he just say? And I check it, and of course, he's wrong every time. He lies all over the place. And nobody knows it but me, because I'm the only cat that checks. Everyone else just believes him. Damien says, what if each of us is the only person who doesn't exist? Anti-solipsism. Ha ha. Ha ha, indeed. I don't know if there's such a thing as that, Push. Deep fried dough. You told them they were sadists? You were crying and you told the dentist that they were sadists? You're a hero. You're a hero. That's bitching. Yeah, totally. Little Shop of Horrors. Harold Ramis, thank you. And someone else said, Harold. I'm getting ahead of myself. Hey, Push, how long ago was your accident that messed up your neck? And Nate X said Harold. Thanks, Nate. Harold Ramis, and thanks, David. Yeah. I don't know if any of you guys know what conversation in what movie I was talking about, but yeah. That's exactly right. The tools were archaic. Yeah, that's exactly right. You really look at those with plain eyes, and you're looking at screwdrivers and pliers. Screwdrivers, pliers, knives, and a blackjack. Okay. Okay. Yeah, you're right about that too. You know, the only time I ever saw somebody who it seemed to phase, he was he was an assistant. And he just seemed kind of human and out of place in that office. All right, everybody. It's 7:04 a.m. right now in Albuquerque, and we're going to wrap it up. It's a little after 9 on the East Coast. Early birds are starting their days. Night owls are ending them. Thanks for joining, people. What a cool impromptu show. I'm sorry Ryan couldn't join us, though. I was hoping Ryan would join us in the chat, but he probably had to go to work. Let's do shout out. Let's do a shout out. I'm not in a hurry to get out of here. We'll do a slow shout out, a lowrider style shout out. I'm trying to get it up there to the top of the list. Pushing buttons. 4 Jacks. Pushing buttons. 4 Jacks. Nate X. David. Rebecca. Vividness. Josh. 4 Jacks again. Why not? All right. Damien was here. Dean dropped by. One more quarter dropped by. Mental pancakes. All right. And what was that word again, Damien? You don't have to put it. I'll Solecism something. All right. All right. This is a good show. I'll probably leave it up. And if I delete it, it won't be for like another couple days. So if you're inclined to watch the whole thing, you might want to do that in the next couple days. Sis was here. Hi, Sis. Did I say Nate? I say Nate now. Nate. Wow, Rebecca. Oh, that's nice to say. I came on just 2 weeks ago, 2.5. But it would be cool to come on a little bit more often. Oh, Dean's planning a time travel trip. He's fitting the van. Yeah, I don't think there's any need for that. Push for Brian to, God, why am I'm the man of bronze. Okay. Lighting is solipsism. Thanks, man. Yeah, we are all gonna be okay. Gonna go get a sopapilla, Josh says. Good choice. Get a few of them because you'll want one with beans and chili and then another for honey. Ooh, werewolves of London. Dun 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 dun. I saw a werewolf drinking a pina colada at Trader Vic's. His hair was perfect. Dip. Ooh, werewolves of London. Dun dun. Ooh. Bum, bum. Ooh, werewolves of London. Dun dun. Ooh. Yeah. All right. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much for joining me. Stay cool, stay mellow, stay blessed. And we'll talk to you soon. Rebecca. Did I say you in the shout out? Rebecca. All right.